So, welcome to another episode of the Swamp Inside Florida Athletics. I'm your co-host, Anthony Beck, along with my other co-hosts.
Jerry Brown.
And batting third, Marcus Davis.
How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, bro. I'm excited. Coming off a win, so I'm doing pretty good, man. No matter if it was McNeese State or whatever.
Hey man, same here. And
Yeah.
finally, my record with me in attendance at the Swamp is now 500. So I'm doing great. Hey man, it's been a long time. I ain't been there in a minute since what 2014.
14,
I had a
yeah.
bad taste in my mouth after the LSU game. We finally got one out the way. The only thing I don't like that is still around is that every time I've been there, a tight end dropped a touchdown pass wide open in the end zone in the same spot.
Wow, you may need to stop going to games if that's gonna happen
Relax. We won the game. It's all good. We're fine.
this time. But
Can't win them all.
we got a special guest joining us for the first time tonight. He is one of the writers on VolQuest.com and also is one of the hosts of Locked On Vols. We have Eric Kane joining us tonight. Eric, how you doing tonight?
Doing well, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, we definitely
Yes, sir,
appreciate
man. Absolutely.
and talking the biggest game in the SEC this week. I would say I don't know what SEC Nation was thinking, but going to Starkville. But I figured, Florida and Tennessee is the biggest game in the SEC this weekend. Tennessee's coming off another win over Austin Peay, a 30-13 win. Be headed down to the Swamp this upcoming Saturday. So, Eric, to kind of recap you guys' game. So, what are some of the things you saw in that game that you were impressed with or concerned about going into this game against Florida?
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee won the game by 17 points. Tennessee, I mean, it was never in doubt, especially in the second half. But, I mean, that's a game where it's Austin Peay. I mean, you should have won by 50, like no joke. I mean, it's an SES school. The line came out Saturday morning. I think it was like 39.5 in the hook or something. And, Tennessee offensively just never got going in the first half. It was slow. Joe Milton and his receivers were not good. They were not in sync whatsoever. Tennessee ran the ball really, really well. And then finally they just went to it not necessarily because Austin Peay dictated it, but they were just, giving it open, the perimeter, passing game, the screen game, getting out quick. And so they went to that the second half. And again, Tennessee went up, took control of the game. It was never in doubt or anything, but it was kind of disappointing, to be completely honest with you. It was kind of a bad taste in your mouth because the offense really never got going. But so far, I thought a little bit of that in game one against Virginia, but it was much better. The offense looked a whole lot better against Virginia. Defense has come to play so far. Of course, we'll see how good this defense is, in the Swamp this weekend. But I think the defense is much better for Tennessee, and it's not Hendon Hooker and Cedric Tillman and Jalen Hyatt and Byron Young, who had a sack in the NFL making his debut the other day, but I think it's a pretty solid team, but obviously a huge test and a place where you haven't won in 20 years in the Swamp, and that's coming up here in a couple of days.
That's a crazy stat. Like, the last time that Tennessee won there, I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
That's a crazy statistic for any major program, but it's going to be a competitive game. I already feel it.
You just made me feel old as hell saying that.
Because you are old, AB.
Because 2005, I was what? 12, I was about to turn 13.
2003.
I was 3, dude.
Oh, dang. Hold on. I was about to turn 12 or 11 then.
Yeah, I was 5 years old fighting over crayons.
Eric, how old were you, bro?
I was, let's see, in 2003, I guess I was 10. Yeah, I was 10. I don't remember. I mean, it was a while ago. It was Casey Clausen. But, Tennessee, obviously, you guys know this. I mean, Florida's kind of dominated this series, for the last 20-some-odd years. And even when Spurrier was there, of course, kind of dominated the series. Tennessee won back-to-back in 2003. They won at home at Neyland in 2004. James Woolhoit had the 51-yard field goal. Didn't win again until 2016, and, of course, won last year. So Tennessee's looking for back-to-back wins over Florida for the first time since 2004. First win in the Swamp since 2003. So, yeah, it's been a tough place to play, that's for sure.
Normally I would say do not remind me of 2004 because that was pain as a Florida fan. But I always say, for me personally, the worst loss I've ever witnessed Florida actually have was 2001 against Tennessee. Like, I'll never get over that. That is the one game I will never get over. I'm just gonna say there was pass interference on the 2-point play. Nobody called it. I don't understand why.
Here he goes.
All you had to do was just throw the little yellow flag out, but I guess y'all just didn't want to see Florida and Miami in the Rose Bowl. Y'all just wanted to see Nebraska, and look what happened when you got Nebraska.
That's a game that Tennessee, Florida played, in December, right? 1st of December?
Yeah, because of hurricane, right?
Ironically, what's today's date?
Because of 9/11, yeah. Because of 9/11.
Oh, because 9/11. What am I thinking about?
Yeah. Tennessee had to move a game with LSU a couple of days because of Katrina. But yeah, this was this was 9/11. They had to move it and played in December, the weekend before, I guess, the conference championship games.
Wait, the game with LSU, wasn't that the game where it was like 13 guys on the field or something like that, or something crazy?
No, so you're talking about LSU game? No, so that game was in 2010. I remember that because I was a senior in high school or junior in high school one. And yeah, Tennessee had like 14 guys on the field, and they missed the field goal, and everybody's celebrating. They're like, "Wait a minute, 1, 2, 3." They go back, get another opportunity, and of course they lose. They weren't kicking a field goal. They made the stop, but they had 14 men on the field. That was 2010, and it's been a rough, since Fulmer's been gone. It's been a rough go about for Tennessee fans until Josh Heupel got here.
Yeah, that's true.
Josh Heupel's been really impressive as a head coach there. The offense he's installed there, he's a heck of a play call. One of the best play callers in college football. In my opinion, in football, period. You can include the pro game, too.
And that offense is so damn tricky because you know how wide the hash marks are in college football. Heupel and those guys use every single blade of grass that you possibly can within the rules in the offense, and they just go at teams. Like they set the world on fire last year with Hooker and all those guys. And this year you have Joe Milton, who's not exactly Hendon Hooker, but he has an absolute gas cannon. So what are the things so far, 2 games in, that you've been impressed with Joe Milton, the things that you might need to work on with him?
Again, last week was not a very good week for him or his receivers. I don't think Tennessee was looking down on an opponent. I just think they never really got in sync. It was bad, man. Like, receivers were dropping balls. Milton, he used to be, his downfall was being really inaccurate. And last year he wasn't the starting quarterback, but he played a lot because Tennessee was beating everybody. Very accurate with the football. And, of course, he had that big Orange Bowl win. Very accurate with the football. Virginia, first game this year, you could tell that he's been working on his accuracy and taking some, adding some touch to him and not just throwing fastballs. But last week just wasn't a good week. So, it's kind of weird because it's only been 2 games. It's been a little bit of a small sample size. But he's making the right decisions, I'll say this. Earlier on in his career, a little bit at Michigan, he would put the ball in harm's way. He'd make silly decisions. He's not doing that anymore. I mean, he's a 6-year college guy. Like, he is who he is at this point, but he's still kind of getting better a little bit and trying to, this is his last ride. He's trying to go to the NFL, and, if you can, kind of put it together, he could be this year's Anthony Richardson, if you will. I mean, the tools and the makeup are kind of there. So he's just physically gifted. He's a big guy. Looks like Cam Newton, no joke. He's lost a little bit of weight to kind of help with his escapability and to run with the football when needed. So that's been good to see. But he is a physical specimen, and he's got a strong arm. But I think that you can tell that he's worked on putting some touch and more accuracy in his throws, and that's been good to see.
Right, Jerry, you got any questions?
Yeah, actually, man. So I got a chance to watch you guys' Virginia game, and I feel like, even though Joe Milton's not Hendon Hooker, necessarily, I feel like y'all took a step forward on the defensive end. I feel like y'all have tons of athletes flying around. So what do you feel about you guys' defense, and what do you think changed from last year to this year?
Yeah, man. I'm excited about this defense. It's looked really good the first 2 weeks, and that's why I'm so intrigued about this upcoming weekend with Florida, because this will be the best offensive line, the best offense, but it's SEC ball. But they're going to play 12 guys. They're going to play a ton of guys. Everybody stays fresh. They are long, athletic, and quick off the edge. Game you watched, James Pierce had a couple of sacks. Tyler Barron had a couple of sacks, and they're really, really quick. And they'll go to this Rabbits package where they essentially have 4 defensive ends on the field at the same time, and they get after the quarterback on third down. So I like this defense. I like the front seven a lot because you've had guys who are now entering their third year in the system. They know the system. They know the expectations. They know how to play defense, complementing the Tennessee offense, which means they're on the field so many more plays in comparison to other defenses. Sometimes they don't get much of a break because if Tennessee goes 3 and out, it's literally like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, maybe. And so they're right back on the field. So they kind of know how to do all that. So I like the defensive line. At linebacker, Tennessee was looking really good. Unfortunately, Keenan Peely, the transfer from BYU, he's going to be out for a while. He's got a tricep. I believe it's a torn tricep. So he's out. But Aaron Beasley, he's there. And now it's Aaron Beasley and a bunch of young guys. But I still like that linebacker room. And then in the secondary, you return a lot of guys that weren't very good last year, but you had a couple of transfers in that mix, and if the rush is better from your front four, then that's going to help out your back end so much. And we've seen those two units kind of work together the first 2 games of the season. So, again, Florida's going to be a challenge. How much better are you improved? But I'm with you, man. I think Tennessee's defense can take a step this year for sure, and maybe you're a better overall team, even though you lost all that firepower on offense.
Right.
Speaking of your seven, one guy who's really caught my eye on that defensive line has been Amari Thomas. So what are the things that he brings to the table for your defense?
Amari Thomas, man, he might be the most athletic guy on the team. He's 315, 320 pounds, 6'4". He moves so well. He's got really good balance. He's an NFL prospect type guy. He's a leader, not just for Tennessee's defensive line, not just for Tennessee's team, but he's one of those I forgot what they called him, like those appointed leaders from around the SEC that go to those conferences or whatever. He's one of those guys. So he's good, man. He's super strong. I feel like he could play offensive tackle, and he might be Tennessee's best offensive tackle like right now. Like he's just super athletic. He's a good football player. I think he's made strides to be a better pass rusher because, of course, he plays the interior, and Tennessee hasn't had much rush from the interior the last couple of years, but I think he's really worked on that over the offseason, trying to put it to use. Along with Omar Norman Lott, who's in there with him this year as well. So, Amari Thomas, man, he's a big guy. He's a stud. He's definitely the leader of that group, and I think as he goes, kind of that defensive line will go.
For me, on the offensive side of the ball, the guy that's caught my eye, really, and I think everybody's eye, is running back Jalen Wright. So, what have you seen from him this year? Like, what kind of jump do you think he's made from last year to this year? What have you seen so far this season?
I thought he was, I like Tennessee's running back room. I know Florida's got a couple really good backs. I know before injury, Georgia had some pretty good backs. Alabama's always got some good running backs. But, I like Tennessee's group as a whole. You've got Jalen Wright, Jabari Small, Dylan Sampson, and all 3 of those guys have played a ton of football. Jabari Small, I feel like he's been here a decade now. He's a senior, and he's kind of been that RB1 the last couple of years. But last year, Jalen Wright, in my opinion, was the best guy on the team. He led the team in rushing, but didn't get nearly as many touches as Jabari Small. And he's just continued to add weights, look more like he was kind of a scat back when coming into college. He looks like an SEC running back right now. He's one of the fastest guys, not only on the team, but in the league. And I think this year what sets him apart is his vision and his patience. Super patient runner. And he couldn't run between the tackles when he first got here, but now he's really strong through the tackles. So it's been kind of a running back by committee, and Tennessee will give a ton of carries and a ton of playing time to Jabari Small as well. But Jalen Wright is RB1, and then there's a drop-off. He's really good, and I think now that you're getting in SEC games, I think Tennessee needs to start trying to give him the football 15 to 18 times a game, whether it be carries, touches, throw the ball out of the backfield, whatever the case is. They need to work him into the game plan a whole lot more because he's been really good.
Right.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, man. Oh, go ahead, AV.
No, you go ahead. I was
going to say, I think it's like ultra important. I think this game coming up Saturday, I think it's going to be more of a defensive game than what people think. I think it's going to be a battle between, whichever team can force the most turnovers, I think will end up ultimately winning the game. So it's going to be pivotal for Tennessee to mix it up. I don't think Florida – we are still trying to figure out who we are against a good defense, right? We ran the ball so many times against McNeese State, basically saying, this is our identity. But against a talented front like Tennessee, I don't think we're going to be able to do that as much. So we're going to have to find out how to keep the offense balanced. But I think Tennessee has the advantage in a way in which Joe Milton has a cannon arm, so the defense has to be spaced out. And then you have a running back that's improved running between the tackles. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, man. But it's going to be a battle defensively, I think.
Would it be worst case scenario for Florida if Tennessee were to go down there and jump up with a couple of scores early? Because then that would force, because I didn't watch the whole Utah game, but it looked like they had to kind of give up on the run game and go throwing just because they were down so quickly. Would that be kind of worst case scenario for Florida?
Yes,
10,000%.
They're not exactly built to come from behind, and it's a system where so far in 2 years in Bill Napier's tenure, they have a losing record when they throw more than 30 plus times a game. So this is a team that's designed to run the football and run effectively. If they can't, the odds start to drop. And plus, with this defense, it's talented and it's played well, and there's a bit more structure with Armstrong there as defensive coordinator this year. But it's also really young. So just for example, just in the back end alone, in the safety spot, there's a true sophomore and a true freshman back there, and a transfer in from Michigan in RJ Moulton. So communication issues, especially with an offense like Josh Heupel's at Tennessee, where every blade of grass is being used. A guy may run a slant in here, or they might run a sluggo from the outside. That causes a lot of communication problems, and the stem on the route is a lot different than what you would normally see in a contemporary offense. So it's going to be a lot of guys have to talk, guys have to communicate, guys have to be in the right position. So if they get behind like 2 scores, even at home, it's going to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it looks dark.
Dark.
I thought so again because like I know that ETN and was it Montreal Johnson, right? Is that his name?
Right.
Yeah, like I know those names. I know they're pretty good backs. And when I saw Florida only had 13 yards rushing against Utah, I'm like, I know you're playing from behind, but it's like you kind of gave up on that altogether. And so I think for Florida that'd be worst case scenario. But to your point, I think because of the struggles a little bit offensively for Tennessee, especially this last week, I mean, I think it's going to have to rely on its defense a little bit to kind of spark and get some plays, some special teams, and it's going to be another thing I'm really intrigued to see about is you go on the road, first true road game of the season for Tennessee. It's going to be loud, procedural penalties, all that pre-snap stuff, because Tennessee struggled with that at Georgia last year. I mean, that was, 2 undefeated teams, 1 versus 1, whatever. Tennessee had like, 4 or 5 procedural penalties, kind of like I know Florida had a couple against Utah, but I'm intrigued to see how they kind of handle all that. Plus, they've rotated a lot of offensive line too, so they don't have a set 5 right now. So, a lot of questions. I'm looking forward to seeing, kind of how Tennessee answers on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
We had those exact same questions with offensive line because we saw against Utah, we had some struggles here and there in protecting Graham Mertz and be able to get movement in the run game, like because we're playing with the backup center now in Nick Slaughter because Kingsley Eguakwan, he has a high ankle sprain, so he's probably not going to play. I don't think, right?
And cleared to play. That was the breaking news I had.
Oh, he's cleared to play.
It's cleared
to play.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, because you need him. He's a senior. He's been in the program for years. He knows what to do. You need guys like that, and when you get to SEC play.
Go ahead and say it, Marcus. We all know where he's from. Go ahead and say it.
Duval. I had to do it.
Every Jacksonville player, he's got to do that.
You do what Pensacola players too, AB. Let's be serious here.
He does. The bias is real on both ends.
Listen, as a Titans fan, the only Duval that I'll respect is Adam Duval for the Atlanta Braves there for a couple of years. So.
Hey, we gave y'all Derrick Henry, so you're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Couple
Couple of stiff arms later. Yeah, appreciate it.
He's still for me in high school. It was not fun.
I bet it wasn't.
It's like, there's no way this kid's 17, 18 years old. I'm in there, skinny little 8th grader has to get in the game, and I'm seeing him coming full speed. I'm like, oh, no.
It's a good story, though. I mean, literally, you can tell that story for the rest of all time. I got stepped on by Derrick Henry in high school.
And he won the game, so I'll take it.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that being a good story, but you can't explain that to the wife and kids. You can't do that.
No, you have to gas it as much as possible.
Tell the wife that.
No, I'm definitely gassing it, but nah, man, Derrick Henry is ain't nobody built like him. I've never seen anyone before, and maybe even since, is gonna be like that guy.
See, I thought Trent Richardson was that guy because having to tackle him, it hurt a lot. Hurt, your chest is all sore. you might have lost part of your chin strap trying to tackle him. But then all of a sudden, Derrick Henry comes along. It's like, okay, how many 6'3", 250-pound running backs do we have out here?
Yeah, the problem is with Trent Richardson with Derrick Henry one will actually pick the correct hole to run through, and two, he's liable to run past you just as much as he is to run through you.
He's a freak. He's a defensive end that can run like a 4.5.
Yes.
Yeah. He went to Alabama with somebody didn't call him a linebacker.
Come on, AB. We're not talking about that, bro.
Oh,
no. But I wanted to ask you, Eric, because we're bringing up these running backs from Alabama. I kind of want to ask you something like outside of Tennessee and Florida. So going forward, man, like you've seen Georgia, you've seen Alabama. What have you taken away from their performances so far, and like how do you think Tennessee will fare against those two teams? Because you have to play them both, unfortunately, every year. So.
That is unfortunate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, bro.
It is.
Every single year, got to play them both. I have not watched Georgia a lot so far, just because of when Tennessee's been playing, been working those. Okay. I've watched a little bit of Alabama. Of course, Alabama's played a good team. Texas is a really, really good team. Mm-hmm. I think we kind of saw there. I mean, what was it Jalen Milroe? Was he like, 13 to 27, something? I mean, his stats haven't been horrible, but when you're in a position where you're playing from down, and if he's your guy, I mean, that's big-time question marks. Now, he is an absolute freak. He's dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's the type of guy, like if you're up, a score in the fourth quarter, like I want him. I want the ball in his hands the entire time. Yeah. But kind of playing from behind and having to win a football game by throwing, I'm not sure if he was the right guy, over Tyler Buckner or Ty Simpson. So, we'll see. One of the best rosters, in my opinion, in football still. I mean, it's an incredible team roster and all that. It'll be challenging. Plus, Tennessee beat Alabama last year, so Alabama's going to be at home this year, that game. So it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be a great environment. That's when they're going to want to get back. So I don't think that the defense for Alabama is going to be nearly as good as what it was the last couple of years. So we'll see. And then Georgia, I haven't seen Georgia play, but I mean, as long as you get a quarterback that's not turning the football over, I mean, I think they're going to be just as good, man. That roster's incredible.
And they still have some really talented guys in the back end, like Malachi Starks. He was a big difference maker last year. And their communication in that back end safety spot is still really, really good. It was better. That's one thing where I thought they could beat Bama at last year was that their safety room and their corner wasn't quite as cohesive as it usually is. And with the way Tennessee runs offense and the way they were just on a roll with the talent that they had last year, it was going to be an up and down game. And that's what it turned out to be.
Yeah.
I think Georgia got better at skill this year, big time, right? I mean, you got Rob Thomas, you got Dominic Lovett. Of course, you already have Brock Bowers. You got Lad McConkey. I think they've got better at the skill positions offensively, and you got a more talented quarterback. I mean, Stetson Bennett again.
Yeah.
He's a college football legend. Love the story and all that. I mean, Tennessee fans don't like the story, but it's a really good story and all that. But from a football makeup and from a talent perspective, I mean, you got an upgrade this year too. So, I hope Georgia doesn't win it again this year. I can't tell you back to back.
I can't do it, man. I can't.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be tough. At least that game for Tennessee's sake is going to be at Neyland, so that's going to be good.
Look, man, I'm not a Tennessee fan by any means. I hate y'all, but every time y'all play Georgia, I root for y'all. Like I literally do every single time. So I'm hoping y'all pull it out.
Last year, it never felt like Tennessee had a chance. 2 years ago at Neyland, like in the first quarter, I mean, Tennessee went up like 7-0, 10-7. Yeah. It's like, how long is it going to take Georgia to wake up? And then Georgia woke up and I think won by 14 or 17. I can't remember, but we'll see. We'll see what it's like back at Neyland this year.
Joe Milton, come on, man. We need a masterclass.
If Joe Milton can put it together, man, again, he's such a good guy. You want to root for him. This is his team. He says all the right things. The way that the coaches and the players talk about him, in media settings, is really cool. Again, he has all the attributes, it feels like, a Cam Newton, man. So, if he can just consistently put it together, I mean, number one pick in the draft, no doubt. Like Anthony Richardson type, skill set. So, I'm rooting for him too, man. Last week wasn't good. Hopefully, it'll be better this week. But everybody's rooting for him. I think he's a good story.
Hey, he said he doesn't lose in Gainesville. That's what he said, or he doesn't lose in Florida, or something like that. So
he's from Orlando or somewhere around Orlando, and he said that comment. I remember it was back in the summer, and everybody's easy now. I didn't hear the comment, but I think it's Yeah, I don't lose because, of course, the Orange Bowl as well. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't lose a whole lot of games in Florida. So, if Tennessee loses this week,
that
that's going to be making the rounds again.
Like that's gonna be Duck Pull a Truck Quincy Williams.
Doug full of truck material.
Yeah, exactly.
God, Jared, we're not talking about that. Why would you do that, man?
No, that was the worst. That was one of the worst games, bro. Like I was at my grandmother's birthday party, and like Florida was, beating them pretty good, 21-3. Like we're having a heck of a game in the all whites, and then like I get done eating at her party, and like I look at my phone, and it's like Tennessee's up like 24-21, and I'm like, what happened? It was crazy.
I was like, I almost made it my entirety of my schooling without a Tennessee loss, and then that just had to soil it.
That was the 2016. It was like Tennessee scored what?
They went on some crazy type of
24
run.
straight.
Yes.
Tabor down the sideline. I remember that game.
Yes.
The smoky uniforms, man. It was
Yeah.
I think y'all scored like 35 straight points.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was more than 24. It was something like that. Yeah.
It was something crazy. Yeah,
But 2015 and 2017 was like the best 3 games I've ever seen, like in the Tennessee Florida rivalry, though. Like,
I was at the 2017 game. Like I had the actual angle. I was sitting right there on the throw, sitting next to my dad. And my dad's like, "Oh, that throw's got a chance." And I'm literally sitting there saying, "Oh, he's got him. He's got him," because the throw was perfect, so you can kind of see it going in his hands. That was about the only good thing that happened for us in 2017 because nothing else good happened.
I was gonna say like those were 2 bad teams, man, and like
bro,
like Tennessee. That was like my first year like in the media, so like I remember I wasn't like at the game, but I remember like breaking down that game and watching it again. Like Tennessee had like 17 chances to win that game, and they just like win it. Here you go. I think that's been one of the more frustrating things about this series from a Tennessee perspective. It's like there's been some really good Florida teams, and then there's been some really bad Florida teams, along with some really bad Tennessee teams. Yep. And it's just kind of been like which team's going to give it up, and it's always been Tennessee just handing the win or getting beat in. So like I don't know, we'll see, man. I think Tennessee's a lot better now, obviously, and I think Florida's going to get back to being really, really good. I like Billy Napier. It's hard to preach patience when you see all these first year and second year. I mean, look at what Josh Heupel just did, right? You're seeing all these first and second year coaches doing all this work, and I think Napier's a good coach. I do, but like I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, of y'all's rivalry games, this is probably the best chance to get one this year, right?
Probably, yeah.
Bro, like we have to get this one. Like it's so important for Billy to win this one at home, and then also said we got to beat Kentucky. On the road. Like, that's a must win.
That's not a rivalry. Stop it.
Bro,
at least Kentucky's not down in the swamp because that's where Kentucky wins in this series, right?
It's terrible.
We're Josh Allen to a first round pick that day. Shout out to him.
But I think if Napier can win this, I mean, he will be in the good graces of like a lot of fans. If he loses, I mean, people will still be, I think, some fans will be patient, some will be irrational.
Jerry, we could beat Tennessee by 50 this weekend, and you're still going to have fans ready to fire him. And you know that.
Wrong. It's a Florida fan base, man.
That's how bad this fan base is. Like, the slightest thing goes wrong, fire him.
But if he gets this win, like, it's something you can hang your hat on. It's like, yeah, well, 6-6 or whatever in year 2, but you got that win against Tennessee. That was a big one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see.
This series, I openly admit that I gave up on the game in 2015. I will say that. I was literally watching on mute with one eye closed and one eye.
Oh my goodness.
And then, because I gave up. I'm like, all right, we're done. Like, we lost. And then the Antonio Callaway play happens. I'm like, oh, okay, so I can kind of turn the TV back on. And then Tennessee drives down the field. I'm like, oh, God. Like, we did all this work to come back, and we're really about to lose right here. Who called timeout? I think we called timeout. Did he make the field goal?
McElwain called a timeout for no reason. He called a timeout for no reason, bro.
What are you doing?
Because he missed the field goal badly, and then we had to pray that the ball just doesn't go over any farther. On the next kick, I'm just like, how did we win this game? Like, there have been some games in this series where it's like, wow, it could have went either way. Like the teams can be terrible, but the games are still always going to be exciting.
Yeah. At least these two teams have two good coaches now, in my opinion. I mean, McElwain and Butch Jones. Oh, those are some bad teams and bad games in this series.
Butch Jones is 73-0 now at Arkansas State. So,
dude, looking back at Tennessee, like when they had Butch Jones, there was so much talent that was like wasted, in my opinion.
What?
You have Alvin Kamara out there. You don't utilize this guy the right way at all. Like what?
Well, it's wild too because like Alvin Kamara was there when Jalen Hurd was there, and like I'll stand by this. Like Jalen Hurd deserved to be RB1. He was good. He's one of the best running backs. Tennessee. He ended up only playing really like 2.5 years because he got hurt and then like he quit and then he trained. I mean, it was a bad ending, but he was so good. And then you had Alvin Kamara there that was like dynamic when he went in, and then also went on one NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. I wish they could have found a way to use them both at the same time and have packages and all that type of stuff because they were both so good. But to your point, like Tennessee had talent. Tennessee had so much talent on those rosters. In 2020, with Jeremy Pruitt, Tennessee had, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but like the starting offense, like 6 or 7 or maybe 8 of those guys were draft picks. I mean, Tennessee's always had talent. They just haven't had development. They've had idiot head coaches.
That's insane.
Exactly.
I remember guys like Jalen Reeves may have been giving guys hell.
Barnett. Barnett was a monster, bro.
Yeah, he was. You also had A.J. Johnson, who played a couple years with the Broncos. I think he's trying to hang around right now, but he was really good in college. Reese Maven, Daniel Batuli. I'm trying to think of some of the guys in that era.
Cam Sutton was he was out there, yeah.
Yep, Cam Sutton, and then you had Malik Foreman. You had a bunch of guys that went on and played, like had long-lasting NFL careers.
Yeah,
Juwan Jennings.
Juwan Jennings with the 49ers.
Wasn't Trey Smith? What year did Trey Smith play?
So Trey Smith was here in 18, 19, 20, 21. No. 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, those years. And everybody passed on him because they were afraid about the blood clot thing, and like he went to the 6th. Like he's like a first or second round talent. He goes in the 6th round, starts every single snap, wins the Super Bowl. One of his first couple of years, but he was a boss, man. He was like the #1 recruit overall in the nation, if I remember correctly.
I vividly remember that recruitment.
He was a beast.
Y'all really let him go to the Chiefs. Let guy go to the Chiefs.
For all those teams to pass on him, good for him. Going to the Chiefs, winning the Super Bowl, good for him, right?
Like, a team that just needs offensive line help. He's one of the best talents in that entire draft. They have a really good offensive line coach. It was perfect.
Yeah. Paired him up with I think the center's last name is Humphrey. I don't know his first name, but like
Creed Humphrey.
Creed Humphrey. Yeah, him and Creed Humphrey like side by side for 10 years. Whew, it's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, good luck against those two.
You ain't pushing the pocket on those guys. It's not happening.
No doubt.
Before we get a prediction, looking at this Florida team, what would you say concerns you about Tennessee going up against them?
I guess just because again, Virginia was so bad. Austin Peay's an FCA school. Like I want to see how good this defense is. I really do. I think it's a good defense. I do think it's a good defense, but even Josh Heupel saying today, it was like, I mean, this is going to be the best offensive line. And correct me if I'm wrong, like the offensive line isn't like a strong point for Florida, right? But it's
a lot of some injuries, some mixing and matching.
But like still, it's going to be easily the best offensive line you've seen so far. Can you push the pocket? Can you live on the other side of the line of scrimmage? I mean, Graham Mertz is much better than I think anybody gives him credit for. I don't think that he's like really, really good, but I think he's good enough to beat you. He's been super accurate with the football so far this season, like throwing for like 72% or whatever. So we'll see. I guess what gives me some pause would be, can you get a consistent rush to help your back end out? I think the secondary is still your weakest part of the defense. You need to live on the other side line of scrimmage. You need to make things difficult for Graham Mertz. I mean, you had 7 sacks and 14 TFLs last week. You had 4 sacks and 9 TFLs in week 1. I think you're good, but I don't know yet, and we'll know on Saturday. So I guess that's something I'm looking forward to seeing transpire.
Mhm.
Yeah, I probably would say the secondary is the weakest, but in the sense that it's not like a talent issue or anything like that. It's just a youth and experience issue. Because again, you're starting a true sophomore and a true freshman at safety and Miguel Mitchell and Jordan Castell. Talented guys. They made some nice plays. They made some things happen. But again, with an offense like this that you haven't seen before, and it can get up on you in a hurry, its
Right.
communication is going to be a big thing. And
Like
too
I
much
don't think
passing.
what's the name of your big nose tackle, Watson?
Oh,
Desmond,
Des Watts.
Like this is not a Desmond Watson
This is
game.
not a Des game,
No,
bro.
I ain't in this game.
Because I mean, like you
At all.
can't, like Tennessee will not sub, and if
Yeah.
Tennessee does sub on offense, that allows Florida to sub or whoever they're playing to sub. So like that's why the tight end is so critical in this offense. It's got to be a on the line blocker, a fullback, an H back, a split out wide. It allows Tennessee to go fast and mix up the the scheme and the formations and all that. So like we talk about that youth and inexperience and stuff in the back end, like it's like, man, you got to figure it out, or like you're not going to be able to go and talk about it and get some things answered until like the drive's over or a couple of plays or whatever. So
Yep.
that could be something to pay attention to for sure.
Yep.
And I would say the defensive line is much improved because last year we had no depth whatsoever, especially at the defensive tackle spot. We had Javon Dexter, who was a second-round pick for the Chicago Bears, but other than that, it was Desmond Watson and absolutely nobody else. And subbing a 420-pound guy like that in and out so quickly without anybody in front or anybody else that could play behind, that became a big problem. Now you came in guys with Caleb Banks transferring from Louisville, Cam Jackson transferring from Memphis, right, AB?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Memphis. Yeah, so they've been very productive so far and dealt with some injuries early before the season started at edge. But guys like Justice Boone, unfortunately with the injury, but Princey Mamielin, he's a guy that really needs to step up.
For sure.
He's gonna have to be our best pass rusher on Saturday for us to have a chance to win. But the linebacker room, I had questions about personally before
That's
the season
probably
started.
our strongest.
It's actually kind of strong.
Jamar James, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Shamar James.
Shamar James is
Dude, he's good.
He was another recruit from last year's class. Played a lot as a true freshman last year. As a true sophomore, he's really starting to become a leader. He's starting to put things together. And next to him is Scooby Williams. So he had chances to play last year. Kind of struggled with communication, but you saw the talent. Now this year, 2 games in, small sample size, but still, the communication's been much better. It's been much improved. He's gotten the calls in faster, and it's just allowed him to run sideline and just be the linebacker that he can be. So far so good with those two, and we got some experience with Charlie Mitchell, transfer from Ohio State, behind them. So far so good with the linebacker room. I had questions, but it's probably been the best thing about our defense so far.
For sure.
Yeah, you already know. Here we go. Gotta get a prediction out of
Hey,
here
man.
before we let you off here.
All right, let's see here. I think that totals at 57.5, something like that. Tennessee's a 7.5 point favorite on the road. I get it. Tennessee's a pretty hyped, experienced team coming in. Florida kind of down and all that. I mean, I understand. But anytime I see that spread on the road in a place you hadn't won since 03, and like the teams of past have nothing to do with this year's team on either side. I get it, but like it's just mind-boggling to me. I like Tennessee. I do like Tennessee. I think Tennessee will respond the right way, pick up the win. I'll go Tennessee scoring 35 to Florida, 24, 28, somewhere around there. Like it's a touchdown to 10-point game.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee's barely covers that spread, and I think Tennessee can score, 5 touchdowns or so. So I'll get it 35, 28, somewhere around there. Tennessee wins.
How about you, Jerry?
Oh, shoot, man.
Oh, wait. Y'all don't want to wait to the end? What y'all want to do them now?
No, we
No, man, we can do it now. No big deal.
we can do it now. We can do it now. So, man, I'm not really sure what to expect. I do have a little bit of concerns about Joe Milton coming into the swamp. I know it's always pretty tough, to have a guy coming to the swamp and just win, period, unless you're like Jaden Daniels scoring 6 touchdowns. But anyways, I like Florida. I think I like Florida. I think we have faster linebackers this year. I think we haven't had a turnover this whole season. Nobody's gotten a turnover. So I think that this game we finally get a turnover. We get an interception off of Joe Milton. I think we'll get it early. I think Princely has a breakout game as well. And I think, we'll kind of ride momentum. It'll be a tough game. I think we'll come out victorious. I think it'll be 31-28 Florida.
How do you say Princely's last name?
Umemielen.
Yeah, he can say it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I've been calling him Prince all week. I'm going to keep calling him Prince.
Call him Prince, bro.
I'm struggling with names because, like I said, as a Cowboys fan, we traded for one of the Dolphins' former players, and I struggled to say his name last night watching the game. This guy scored on the special teams play.
Y'all better hope that Joe does well. For your case, I guess you probably want this, but then again, if Tennessee's backup quarterback goes in, good luck saying his name.
No, but he's nice though.
I do like
people. That boy is
Nico Iamaleava.
Nico is fire.
Wait, say his last name again.
Iamaleava.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. When Joe Milton leaves, don't tell Tennessee fans I said this. We got an upgrade at quarterback.
No, yeah, upgrade, bro.
That kid's good. He's going to be a good player.
I think he's going to be really good.
I thought he should have been the number one player in the country to finish the high school rankings. I really did.
He was according to On3.
Salute to On3 for actually having the right ranking.
That's where I work, so I gotta throw a shout out.
yeah.
Salute to and bias and looking at the Manning last name.
Hey, but Eric, I will say I got us winning 31-28, but if we get down by 10 early, or even 10, if we get down by 10, I got y'all winning that game.
And see, that's the difference, right? It's like we talked about this earlier. Florida, not really a team that is built to come back, whereas Tennessee, when it's off offensively, it's ugly, but you can score like that.
Quick.
Like they were off against Virginia, and then they scored 2 touchdowns right before the half in the span of like 4 minutes.
Yes.
I mean, Tennessee's offense is built to score quickly, so I will agree with you. Like, if Tennessee's down, I feel better about Tennessee coming back down 7-10 points than I do Florida.
Yeah, like it's built to score quickly, and with the way it works, you can just get one over on a defense on like a 70-yard bomb all of a sudden because of lack of communication.
Yep.
Yeah. Brings me to my prediction. So I say Florida wins like 27-24, but I think 24 is probably the maximum this defense can allow. If they get down 10-ish, the odds go down drastically. So it has to be a phone booth game. You gotta keep it close. Gotta get enough stops. You got to keep the clock moving with running the football. Grammars has to make the correct decisions. He has to just keep the offense moving. Don't try to do anything crazy. Protect the football, and they'll be okay. Yeah. If they have to throw all around the yard, again, his history says with Billy Napier so far at Florida, throwing around the yard is not exactly optimal. But to keep it balanced, they have a chance. If not, well, you know the rest.
Yeah.
Me and Jerry basically had the same exact score prediction. So I have Florida winning 31-28, but I also feel like this is what it's going to come down to for me. And Marcus kind of hinted at it. Time of possession. If Florida can dominate the time of possession and be methodical with their drives and wear that defense down, that's where I think Florida can really win the game. Being able to just keep Tennessee's defense on the field and giving their defense a chance to rest. So I feel like if they're able to do that and they're really able to get Montrell Johnson and Trevor Etienne and even Trayon Webb going, because I like what I've seen so far from Trayon Webb.
Oh, where's Trayon Webb from?
We're not doing this. Go ahead.
Trayon Webb, hey, he was flirting with Tennessee during the recruiting process, but he was never going to Tennessee.
I put the call in.
But this is the same guy that literally lied to Steve Wilfong about Penn State, and then a week later he commits the.
Yeah, him and Marcus Stokes, I think they were.
Yeah,
that was the funniest thing I seen because I pretty much knew what was going on. Like, okay, you're telling them you're going to Penn State. Yeah, this is going to be funny. This is gonna be really funny. Then he
Bro, these
commits.
kids are liars, bro. These kids are professional liars. Like,
Man, they lie. They keep their commits silent and
Lie?
enjoy your visits.
Dude, it's a process now, man. Because like with NIL, like it's okay. You got to camp early on. Then you go as a junior. You go to all these places, and you go to these junior days, and then you're there for junior days, and they try to get you to come back to see a spring practice.
Yeah.
You go back for a spring practice, like, all right, let's lock in an official visit. Okay, you go to get an official visit there in June, and then when your official visits are over, you put out your top 3 or top 4 or whatever. And so it's pretty much like, all right, guys, how much can you give me? And you kind of then you set a target date, even though you don't know where you're going to go. You set a target date, and then it says, all right, you guys are on the clock now. And it pretty much just kind of, gives everybody a chance to potentially do that if that's how you're going to recruit a kid. So it's a different ball game now, man. And these kids are smart, and they're playing the systems for sure. So good for them. Good for them.
And now with recruiting chases, unofficials are unlimited now. So take them while you can get them. Take
And
them
you
all.
can go on like 7 or 8. I mean, I forgot. I should know this since I work in recruiting. It went from 5 to like 10 or something for official visits as well.
I thought it was 6.
It went up. I'll double check on that. It went up. I know that. It used to be 5.
But see, being kind of new to this media thing, I would say the one thing I've learned about these kids is you can tell who's being serious and who's trolling.
Yeah.
Like you can legit tell, and it's like there's some kids where it's like, yeah, he's saying the right thing, but there's no way. There's no way he's coming here.
Sometimes though, the kid will play you, and you'll feel like you'll be like, "Damn, wow, you really gonna work me like that?" But it happens, man.
17-year-old, right?
Yeah, it happens. It happens because I mean they're talking to guys like us all across the country, right? For every fan base and fan site and On3 and 247, right? Whatever. So yeah, it's fun. But hey, I think this weekend will be good, guys. I'm gonna be down there. Anybody going to the game?
I will not be going to the game.
I am almost swamped out after what happened last weekend.
Yeah, man. I'm going to be in Arizona, so you're gonna see how that goes.
Arizona.
Have fun in Arizona, man.
Yeah.
Have fun. What is he gonna do there?
Oh, I'm going kayaking. I'm doing a few things.
He's going outside. He's touching grass.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how much.
So if Joe Milton and Tennessee are up 17-0 in the second quarter, and it's like 8 minutes to go, I'll be at least kayaking in peace. All right.
And then he got 4-1, and he missed the game. I'm just kidding.
Look, bro.
No, he would be sick if that actually happened. But Eric, we definitely appreciate you for coming on and kicking it with us and discussing this game. Let everybody know where they can follow you and read your stuff.
Yeah, guys, appreciate you having me on, man. Had a whole lot of fun. If you guys, anybody watching, listening, wants a Tennessee perspective heading into this rivalry game, you can check out my podcast daily, Locked On Vols, wherever you get your podcasts, on YouTube as well. If you're a member of the On3 Network, encourage you to go to volquest.com and read all of our work there. We got the best extensive preview coverage on the Tennessee side over at volquest.com.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I don't know what Jerry was doing with the buttons over there, but he clearly pushed the wrong button.
It was a glitch, man.
Producer of this show at this point now.
Whoever Allie is, give him or her a follow. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, there right now. All right, Jerry, you're not fired. You're just going to take a pay cut.
Hey, sorry, man.
Pay cut.
But yeah, we definitely appreciate you for coming on, man. And hey, best of luck with everything, and best of luck to Tennessee, and hope for a great game.
No doubt. Appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your season as well.
Yes, sir, man. Take care of yourself.
Appreciate you.
That was Eric Kane from the On3 Network, volquest.com. And again, if you want a Tennessee perspective, listen to the podcast, Locked On Vols, as well. But man, that was a great conversation, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. But now that Eric's off, I can go and say, screw Tennessee, bro. We about to put them boys in a blender, bro. What you talking about?
Come on, man. You are so scared that you're going to Arizona.
No, bro. It's going to be a good game, bro. Like, I'm excited. I think Tennessee is very, very much so talented on defensive end. I think Joe Milton is going to have a pretty good game. I think it's going to be a battle, man. We're going to get a chance to see Graham Mertz, go against another great quarterback, another great talented quarterback, rather. So it's a lot, man. But I guess we can kind of get into the McNeese game and kind of go into detail about how it will translate, into the game.
We can recap our little trip to watch it live, Jerry.
Hey, man. Hey, it was lit, bro. We went to Raising Cane's, had some good food, picked up sauces with us. So,
oh Lord,
it's all right.
Zell, man, I'm so sorry, bro.
Mike,
that
it's okay, Mike.
Negative.
Good.
Ankle were negative.
I didn't think that was gonna be a break. I was like, I don't know about a break.
Well, what could it be? Could it be a foot? Maybe, I don't know.
Probably not a break in the foot or the ankle. Probably more so like a really, really bad sprain or something. Like, I don't know.
He's probably missing multiple games.
Or
This is with Milton here. So try to stay in the pocket and try to beat with his arm. Win. If he decides to use his legs, we'll lose. So with Milton, it very much depends on what Joe Milton you are gonna get.
Yeah, that's very true.
If there's miscommunication back there, he'll uncork it 70+ yards. He got you. But if you shut that out and you communicate properly and you have to make him throw over the middle, then that's where the odds start dropping for Tennessee. But if he's on,
whoa, say what?
It might be Achilles because the way he held his calf there. And
I was worried about that as well. Man, what's going on with you, bro? What's going on, man? It's always good to have other fan bases in here, bro. I really enjoy it.
Oh, man.
Outside of trolling on Twitter, it is great talks, honestly.
He said it's not confirmed yet, but you know what? I agree with you. I think it is an Achilles. I do believe that was he. If you look at him, he did kind of reach towards his calf, and he had that look. It's the same look on his face that he had.
That Kobe had. That look that Kobe had, bro.
It's like, hey, did I get kicked back there? No.
Yes, it was the same exact look, and that's what scared me. I'm like,
and they do the test. They know immediately because if they squeeze the back of your calf and it's not flexing.
The thing about Kobe is he literally asked his teammate or asked somebody, "Did you kick me?"
Yeah, that's usually the thing. That's the big indicator.
I never tear my Achilles ever.
It's painful, bro. The fact Kobe shot free throws with it and walked off by himself.
Yeah. I think what scared me the most is seeing like how he was getting brought down and then he was still trying to move a little bit and his foot like planted. I didn't see any tendon or anything shoot up or any muscle shoot up, but it looked like it could have been that.
But he stood there. It didn't even try and take a step. He just hit the ground.
Yeah. Hey, Zell, all I will say is if that's the case and you do keep that first round pick,
yes, sir.
Draft an offensive lineman. Matter of fact, draft several.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Rob.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Y'all saw that 40 burger.
It's still all good.
Look, that was the best you're gonna see the Cowboys play all year.
Defensively, maybe, but they'll play that at the level a couple of times. Trust me.
He ain't scratched the surface. But I will say this: I told y'all. Remember that name, Wanye Thomas. I told y'all. There was a reason. I told you.
That's Azariah's brother, right?
Yeah, that's his older brother. That's his older
crazy.
Great.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Wayne, bro, you were big.
Hey, man. Almost like
Hold on. I gotta do it. Hold on, Marcus. I gotta do it. Mike, he's a man. He's 40.
Hey, man, it is what it is.
The Browns took that personally.
Shout out to Cleveland, man. If there's ever a team to make Cincinnati look foolish and just give them issues, it's Cleveland, especially with an actual defensive coordinator and with some actual complimentary pass rushers for Myles Garrett because they've never been able to block him ever. Mm-hmm. And him realize and Jim Schwartz looking at Denzel Ward and other corners that have been like, these guys can play man coverage.
You did
Put them on an island.
You did not just disrespect Martin Emerson Jr. like that.
Oh, I said the other corners they have and said they could play man coverage. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Stop.
Why you got other corners?
Because Denzel Ward is the big ticket guy on this team. Be serious for a second.
Be respectful, sir.
Oh, shut up. Anyway.
Yeah. He's never beat Cleveland.
He's 1-5, I think, right? If there's one thing we learned, hey man, that boy's back like he never left.
Don't start gambling.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is, bro,
I got it. He has passwords he never used before.
All I'm gonna say is none of y'all's quarterbacks played like mine yesterday, bro. So,
hey, one for the one time. Give up that boy to him.
I'll give it up for Tua, but I'll say that, Jerry, that's because my quarterback really didn't have to. Because I knew my defense was going to step up.
You're not
Vic Fangio needs to be in a freaking nursing home. Okay?
It's not even so much Vic Fangio because Vic Fangio is a great hire. You just don't have the talent to run what he wants to do.
My thing is, we have Bradley Chubb. We got a top, huh?
Marcus, respect Bradley Chubb.
Respect Bradley Chubb.
That's the only thing they have.
Respect Jerome Baker, one of the best cover linebackers in the game. Respect Xavier Howard.
Xavier Howard is cooked.
No. He's still a top 10 quarterback in the game.
He's not.
He's
not.
What are you talking about?
Not anymore, he's not.
That's crazy.
He's
this man's still a Pro Bowler.
Not this year, he ain't.
No, he's not.
He been passed up, man.
Give me 8 better.
Tyson Campbell's one.
Tyson Campbell, Pat Surtain II, Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, Denzel Ward.
Stephon Gilmore. No.
Ross Gardner.
Stephon Gilmore being better
Ross Gardner. Martin Emerson Jr.
I think DJ Reed's better.
You said who?
I think DJ Reed's better than Xavier Howard.
Chauncey Gardner?
No,
Sauce Gardner.
No.
What say? Sauce Gardner? Yeah, I'll give him that.
What are you talking about?
There's plenty of guys better than Xavier Howard in 2023.
You just named us better than him. And yes, Jerry, Trayvon Diggs is better than Xavier Howard. You can cut the crap.
Why is that even a question?
I mean, come on, let's not get it twisted. Come on now.
Xavier Howard has lost a lot of speed from when he was, man. It's not what it used to be.
It's Jover, Jerry. It's Jover. And
Still,
then you don't even Jalen Ramsey right now.
He's lost speed. I would say
that was a big part of his game. That's the problem.
Yeah, but he's a great. I think he's pretty good in zone coverage though. That's the thing. So
this ain't zone coverage defense. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So back to Florida real quick.
Yeah. Wait, what did you guys were there? What did you guys see that I'm not gonna say impressed you because it was McNeese State, but did you see what you wanted to see?
I definitely do. I really want to see the linebackers up close because watching them on TV is different from watching them up close and in person. And from what I saw before that, I really was impressed with how much Scoob improved and Shamar James was just all over the place. And that same trend continued against McNeese State. They were all over the place. They were sideline to sideline. They were making every single tackle they could. Shamar James didn't miss very much, if at all. Even Scoob, that was a beautiful play on the second, third down. We came from the second level. Defensive line, they played fast. They played physical. I was really impressed with TJ Searcy. His explosiveness is still there. It's still carrying over from week to week. So good on the young freshman. Trail Webb scored a touchdown. He looked good on the drives he had. Shout out my now 4 boys. Trevor Etienne looked great. Montreal had the tackle breaking ability that he always shows. His speed was there. His power was there. Graham Mertz made the correct decisions on a couple of scrambles. Well, not scrambles, but a couple of runs he had. Great ball to Ricky Pearsall. Some of the offensive play calling there. I know they call primarily runs and everything like that, which is great. Stick to what you are as a football team. Get those guys going. Get the offensive line going. Get them laddered up and everything like that. They played pretty well. The back end played pretty solid as well. They didn't really have to do very much because there was really no threat, but they were in the right spots most of the time. So that's good to see. Just looked like a clean team. That's all I wanted. And no penalties for the most part when the game was still a game.
Real quick, y'all, check the group text. Mike was on. They were on to something.
Well, it's over, dog.
New York Jets fans, y'all might want to start this season. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say is this: if there are any Jets fans watching this game, you might want to scrap this season.
Hey, D Mill is gonna be depressed.
It's over, dog.
D Mill, you my dog, man. I hate it had to be you, man.
Hey, man, trust and believe in Zach Wilson.
The Jets about to lose 150 M's. Be the A.
Hey, who was predicting the Jets to finish over the Dolphins?
Okay, this is before. Come on, Jerry.
I just want to say the football gods are speaking. I'm kidding.
Relax. It's all against the Tua forgets his wrestling training and doesn't tuck his chin.
Like this last year, you might want to chill.
We've seen them
around throwing up gang signs, bro.
Relax.
Look, bro. I know,
All right,
bro.
back to the podcast, y'all. Jesus Christ.
No, I'm just saying, you can't talk about quarterback injuries. You the last one on here to talk about that. Put that man out there against the Bills with knowing he had a concussion.
Tua's not missing a game this year. So, anyways.
And with that, okay, I got to get another quarterback in one of my leagues now.
Anyway,
this game will be interesting this weekend. The Swamp is a house of horrors for Tennessee, and Milton looks not great so far. I agree with that, and Florida could win this game, even though a lot of people won't give them. They won't. They won't. You know what? They're going to be motivated.
I hope they're motivated as Tennessee. You should be motivated for this game.
I could not get excited for that game. We could have won 100. If we would have won 100, if we'd have put 100 on the scoreboard, first of all, would it fit on the scoreboard?
Hey, man, if I'm in these state and that happened, I'm like, hey, check clears Monday anyway. Who cares? Hey, y'all gotta chill.
Just 5, bro. 5. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Rob's comment. I mean, it's not a lot to get excited about, but I do think there were, a few things to be excited about. Not a lot, but there were a few things. One, I'll say that the communication looked better. I mean, you guys got to think, man. You got to go back and realize, like, we let Stanford put up 50 points on us 2 years ago. I know, to me, it's improvement.
Man?
It's improvement.
Why you bring that game up, man? Come on.
Less than 2 years ago, we let it happen. We got I think Scoob's on that team. So, yeah, bro. I mean, there were some positives. I think Coach Armstrong did a heck of a job, not letting things happen. Made adjustments, whenever needed be. Offensively, we ran the football. And we got to see a little bit of Trey Wilson doing unique things out there. That was
my other big thing there.
I take y'all breakout game this Saturday.
From Trey?
Think he gets unleashed finally.
Chains off, let him go.
Oh, Mike, I feel bad for you, man.
Oh, man. All I'm going to say is no shade whatsoever. This all could have been avoided if Frank Gore did not get that first down.
All I'm going to say is this, though. I don't know if y'all that down bad where you want to be calling Colt McCoy.
Hey,
I don't know about that one. I don't know if you want to be calling him right now. I mean, the Jaguars got who's the Jaguars' backup quarterback?
CJ Beathard?
Never mind. I ain't even talk about the Dolphins' backup quarterback.
I mean, it's backup quarterbacks. No, Mike White's still available again.
Kenny, we got linebackers, bro.
Dog, I was literally watching them tackle yesterday. Like, Derek can attest to this. We were in the stands. We watched them in the tackle. It was after the Scooby Williams sack. And I was crying that stand. I was like, bro, you see this?
No, Marcus no, bro. I almost took a picture. Marcus was literally crying real tears. Like, he was crying, bro.
Marcus,
it was crazy.
Crying?
Bro, we went through watching how Diabate had to play inside linebacker when that man is an edge rush. We had converted edge rushers playing inside linebacker. Now we got real inside linebackers making plays sideline to sideline, not missing no tackles, pretty good in coverage, communications on point. Bro, I've been waiting for this for so long, man. You got no idea, dog. I ain't saying Anzalone and Jared Davis.
Yes. And the thing is, man, people don't realize when you have fast linebackers, it makes your slower linebacker even more comfortable, so he doesn't have to cover as much ground. Like, we had Ventrell Miller covering so much. it was
for him, David Reese.
Oh my gosh, yeah, bro.
And we
But
had
now-
Ventrell doing it on 1 foot.
Yeah, I agree. Pops. Like
Yeah,
for sure, man. He's nice.
Like you saw the talent last year when he as a true freshman, but now he's got a year of tape to watch during this past all season. He's more experienced. He's more empowered. Like he looks good. He looks every bit the linebacker we all thought he was going to be coming in.
And we snatched him from Saban's backyard. Yeah, man, Scooby, by the way.
Keep recruiting out Alabama. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep recruiting Alabama kids, bro.
Hey, keep going to Mobile too. When I tell you Mobile they put linebackers in college and the pros.
Yes.
Hey man, Bama boy. Hey man, them Bama boys looking good. School, Shamar, Kelby Collins when he has chances to play.
Y'all remember C.J. Mosley?
Yep.
Yes.
Guess where he from?
Is he from that area too?
Mobile.
Mobile.
Bro. Oh
Mobile to Bama, and he was a Pro Bowler in the pros. Like one thing I would say, the city of Mobile produces that. What one position they produce? Linebackers. They got one. I think Deontay Lawson, their linebacker. I think he's from Mobile, and then they got another kid, Sterling Dixon, that's from the area that's going to be going there. So they produce linebackers.
Yeah, we gotta keep on getting them, bro.
Yes.
Yes. That's gonna be the key in this Tennessee game. If we can tackle guys before they get ahead of steam and everything, we're gonna be all right. Yes, I agree. Pops, man, you making some valid points.
I like Castell a lot.
Castell,
he is that dude, man.
When I came on here and we were talking about the open scrimmage, y'all remember? Like I was telling y'all, bro, like the Kamari Wilson situation was looking kind of nasty. Like, he's not necessarily your best cover guy at safety, and he's not as instinctive as you would want him to be at times, and he's a little handsy. So I don't know what you do with him. He's talented, but I don't know what you do with him.
Put him in the box.
This isn't a Kamari Wilson game, though.
Yeah, this one is
Kentucky
not.
Will be.
Yeah, Kentucky will be one. That'll be a Kamari Wilson game. This one in particular, you need Castell out there. And you know what? With Jadarius Perkins, we got to talk about that because he entered the transfer portal.
Oh, yeah.
In the state game. By the way, Dijon Johnson was given his number the very next day. Yeah, but Jadarius Perkins entered the portal. Not gonna get into the details of why, because I mean that's a whole different subject. Not gonna comment on it, but
You don't want to get texted, right?
well, I don't care who texts me because if you do, I'm putting you on blast. I'm gonna put you in your place on this platform, and you do it again.
Hey man, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. I like Perkins, man. I mean, I don't know all the details about everything that happened, but I did like him.
But I will say this. I'll throw this in here though. The writing was also on the wall on the field.
That's not what I'm saying. He wasn't good, but sure, yeah.
Yeah. So Jaden Hill played. He started. It was really good. You're gonna see more of. I ain't even gonna say his name. At this point, I'm done giving Marcus credit. At this point, I'm done.
But people were saying, well, I heard something about him possibly not being unhappy as well.
Yeah, I did hear something like that too.
So. Wait, who being unhappy? Sharif Denson? I mean, he's gonna play more now.
Exactly. So I was confused. I don't know.
I'm not gonna verify or anything because like
that's what's going on.
Huh?
Marcus, the Jacksonville guy, what's going on?
Hey man, I can't comment.
I cannot confirm or deny, but correct.
Yep. I agree with that. And
they had their safety spot. They had when Malachi Starks back there. He changed so many things for them. Like his athleticism, his instinctiveness, and because with the way Tennessee likes to play, they like to confuse you with changing the route stems with certain route, and like to bring guys behind for a slant here and this early hole behind the linebacker. Or if you bring somebody in this vacated spot, you bring in a later hole down there, or do it a go route to the sideline. because where their boxes are, you'll have two guys on the edges to where you try to take away the middle of the field with the run game with two backers, but those two guys out there have to make tackles or you have to cover. So if they decide to go RPO behind that, and you're not communicating and you're not disciplined enough, they're gonna burn you every single time.
I want to give a huge shout out to let me see, where's it? I want to give a huge shout out to Gator Nation Football Podcast for breaking that down. Yes. They did a tremendous job of breaking it down, and it's kind of scary to see like the possibility of what could happen to us, but hopefully we figure it out. But that was a tremendous breakdown.
Yes, he is.
I think he already is. Hopefully.
And he showed that his very first game. First of all, starter against Oregon last year, but then being the playmaker that he was, like, yep, they got them another one. And I liked them coming out of high school. I did. I just didn't know what position he played because he was playing corner, and they moved him all over the field. And it's like, oh, he's going to be a safety? Okay.
Whoever takes Malachi Starks next year is going to be a very happy team because his instincts for a guy who's so young, they're special.
Q4 defense against Tennessee. That's good. That's the main part. Lining up.
They may be preaching that all day, every day in practice this week. Communication.
I think they're going to be doing that. Man.
Coach Armstrong said, "No more my bads."
Yep.
Communicate.
Like I say, to everybody, every time someone makes a mistake on the field, they be tapping the chest like, "My fault, my bad."
Like, bro,
we saw it was your bad, bro.
Just go out and make up for it.
But a good thing is,
it's my biggest pet peeve because you know how like the teams always preach accountability and stuff. Like this is like the easiest way of doing accountability without actually being accountable. Like accountability is like actually going out there and fixing said mistake, not saying I made it. What are you gonna do about it?
Do y'all feel like
mistake?
Do y'all feel like Joe Milton's legs are going to play a key role in this game?
In a different way than what, say, a Hendon Hooker would, because he's more of a battering ram in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe. So, in between the tackles, yes. On the outside, if he does try to bring it out there, you got to be ready to wrap up.
I know my linebacker's ready to wrap up, bro. I'm not even questioning that. And then I was about to say, Wingo looks a lot more comfortable out there when he's with, a Scoob or a Shamar. Like, he looks comfortable in his own little space, his own little bubble. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, one thing I'm definitely going to be looking for in this game, though, really is going to be on the offensive side of the ball. Because I'm wondering, are we going to throw any new wrinkles out there, or are we going to we got to find different ways to get Trey the ball in his hands. We definitely do.
Like they have to find something. Whether it is whether it's trying to get him deep down the field, whether it's trying to get him the ball on a pop pass, or even wildcat. If you really want to do that, they have to wring their hands and say, how are we going to get the ball in this kid's hands? Because he's the most electric guy on the team in open space. They gotta find ways.
I agree.
They absolutely have to, and that's one thing I'm going to be looking for early. But I do honestly think we're going to be able to establish one. Kingsley Iguakin coming back this week is going to be massive because communication is going to be a lot better. He's one of your better offensive linemen, so putting him out there next to Richie Leonard on one side and on the other side, who's Michael Mazuka.
Mazuka, yeah.
Is going to help both of those guys. But he makes all the checks, all the calls along the line. He knows all the assignments. He's going to get the guys in position to do their job. So people don't understand how massive that is, him being able to come back for this game.
Look, AB, I'm telling you now, our best offensive lineman may not even be starting. I mean it wholeheartedly. When Najee got in that game, he's the truth. He is the absolute truth. Moving folks, bro.
I might put him in over Richie Leonard. I like Richie Leonard, but Najee Harris, and they did say Najee Harris and Lindell Hudson they're gonna get more reps.
And Lindell looked awesome as well.
I mean, I know it's McNeese State, but he didn't look bad at all. So
they look strong and they're quick on their feet.
They had Scooby spot me. See, I would agree, but at the same time, I saw LSU play Florida State when they
I'm about to say not like Harold.
Will's not the type of guy where he's gonna take off and run on you so much. Like he's more bang ram on design runs.
Yeah.
Like getting out of the pocket and making the play, it's not so much.
but still, we don't know. I would disagree with that because I don't know if we need to see that.
Yeah.
Milton hasn't running much, 12-40 so far, but they played trash. Yeah, Virginia's terrible.
Yeah.
I was telling people like they're just bad. So this is gonna be their first test.
I would like to see us blitz Milton. Throw some people at him. Get in his face.
That's one thing I noticed because I watched a little bit of that game against Austin Peay. He did miss multiple wide open guys in that game.
That's my thing about him. Like his strength is really the deep ball. But if you manage to communicate that well and take that out, and he has to rely more on the middle of the field and rely on timing, that's where he runs into trouble because Hendon Hooker was great at both of those things. He was exceptional at them last year. And that's why the offense was as good as it was. Milton, he's very much a work in progress. And as a 6-year guy in college, he is what he is. It just depends on what Joe Milton you're going to get.
Right. Foster, man, we definitely appreciate this.
Salute to you, man.
Like we love when fans of other programs come on here and watch. Hey, look, we love it. I mean, we get more interaction, and hey, I mean, it's all love in the end. I mean, yeah, we're rivals at the same, but all in all, it's all love in the end.
Well.
We're all just passionate nut jobs that love our football teams, bro.
Except for when we're playing y'all. We can't stand y'all this week right now. But
it's all love for all of y'all fans, even Georgia fans.
Right.
Florida State, I have no love. No love. Only hate.
Hey, man. Hey. I might. Hey. Oh.
Hey.
Hey. I'm close to that point. I'm almost there.
But you know what, AB and Marcus, like, we should be crying real tears, bro, because how long has it been since we've been able to compare and contrast our starters and our backups? Like,
so damn long. Especially with the offensive line, you can't really do that. Most part.
Yeah.
Even though it was McNeese State, I liked what I saw from Jalen Farmer.
Thank you, bro.
What I saw from him, like that's a guy he's gonna move some people too.
Yeah, the quick off their feet, bro. Like, I mean, it was looking good out there. It was looking good.
The way Tennessee's offense is, well, any offense, if you cave in the center, he's going to panic. That's where I think both Cam Jackson and Chris McClellan, when he gets in, they're gonna
Chris McClellan, come on down. This is your game, baby.
Yeah.
Well, last year he had an exceptional performance against Tennessee.
He did. He got in the backfield all game long. And this year, I think Cam Jackson can do that as well. And Jamari Lyons is going to get a lot more playing time. He's played well.
Yeah,
he balled on Saturday, dude.
He did.
He was very good.
He's great with his hands. That's one thing about Jamari Lyons. Great with his hands.
Yeah. I don't think Tennessee took Austin Peay too seriously, and then they realized they had to. I think that's more of what happened. But I mean, when you look at that game, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, Tennessee really did not play their best game at all. Even whether they took them seriously or not, like they really just did not play their best game. I mean, it was sloppy. First and second half for Florida's offense and defense is key for us to extend drives, score points, and for keeping Tennessee's. Yeah, if we can keep Tennessee behind the sticks and force them to throw the ball, that's another area where
if you want to get second downs, you want to be 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, not 2nd and 8.
And another thing, this is also what I want to see. 3rd and long situations, I want to see. You know who I want to see in the game? TJ Searcy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
TJ Searcy in the game on 3rd and long. Because that guy is a menace.
Yeah.
He is a menace out there.
And I would not mind seeing us rush Scoob a lot more. Like just straight up middle, because that guy is just
because he's a really athletic and active guy. Like I want to be able to use him a little bit more in blitzes because I know Austin Armstrong was really high on him, especially at these last couple of games. So if he's able to use him as more of a blitzer, then I'm going to be ecstatic.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. Don't judge it. I agree with this as well. Yeah, you're right. You really can't because it's like with Florida against McNeese State. Even though I will say, Eddie Battle, you should be running stadiums right now for fumbling that ball. And people us putting them out. You got to be running stadiums for that.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you show up to practice, what you doing here? Oh, I'm in the practice. Yeah, you got stadiums to run.
Yeah, for me, Pops, I don't necessarily judge the teams, but I do look at the small things, right? I think a few times I saw Joe Milton stare at wide receivers, and I think that's a That's a habit that somebody just happens to do. Like last year, we saw Anthony Richardson against USF, right? We knew Anthony Richardson was very talented, but some of those habits that he had to get out of the system were just glaring in that game. You know what I'm saying? So I look out for the little
Yeah,
things like,
that's definitely the thing. In those games, you want to see process.
yeah,
The score is going to come, obviously, because you're just more talented in that team, but you want to see process. You want to see a clean game like we had. You want to see guys getting the right spots. You want to see the plays coming in on time. You want to see guys coming in getting chances to make plays in a game setting. Do you want just a nice, clean, nice and smooth process from all three phases of the game? And for the most part, we managed to pull that out because I had some concerns after that first game, after watching how unorganized we looked. But so far, so good. We got some of that cleaned up. Now carry it over to SEC play.
Well, let me go back to this. I agree with this 100%, Rob. I agree with that 100%.
yeah.
They gotta have a third down package.
Princely finally got a sack, man. He, I hope he has a great game against Tennessee. I really do. Because he's been, I don't know.
Emphasis right here.
No stupid penalties.
And this is another thing I want to see because you got to find a way to get your best DBs out there.
Yes. And Jaden Hill, man, he looked good, man.
He looks comfortable playing a star. He does.
Yeah.
And by the way, and first of all, Josh Allen just threw an interception.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, Jakeem.
Oh, throw ahead.
Jakeem Jackson is probably he's
going to be really, really good for years to come.
He's our most instinctive corner, I think.
Yeah, you can see the instincts. You definitely, if he gets an interception, I can't wait to see. I can't wait till y'all see the ball skills because you can tell he was an offensive player. He
kind of reminds me of a particular cornerback that you like, AB. That's on your favorite NFL team. So just his mentality, not like his skill set being so young, but his mentality. Like, let me go get the ball. Let me come back and try to make a play on the ball. That's who he reminds me of. Lengthy, quick,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonder who made that comparison before.
Oh, brother.
You did make the comp, didn't you?
He did.
He did make that comp. Yeah. I validated.
Just instinctive with the great ball instincts. He's more physical. I would say he's more physical, but it's the thing. Like, he's got to continue to learn the position. And I think once he does that, the sky's the limit for him. Like, he has future first round pick written on him.
Dude, the guy's arms are like from here to here. Like, I like him a lot.
Well, I will say this: nobody's been really throwing at Jason Marshall hardly.
Don't say that.
They did one time against Utah, and he got beat on that play. He did, but since then, he's played really well.
I'll say this, Trey. I'll say this about Jason. I think Jason is talented, but I think sometimes mentally he's like bored, and that scares me because I don't like when my cornerbacks are bored. It's a good thing, but at the same time,
I will say this, Jerry. In his defense, I would be bored too if literally nobody was throwing my way because they already knew what the deal was.
But when people have the audacity, though,
that's when you got to be engaged. Whereas,
exactly.
So when you have to be engaged to be able to, play up to your level, that's a problem.
That's a problem, and he does have to learn that.
Like Kyrie Elam, that was not an issue. Kyrie, no matter who we played, he wasn't getting thrown at, but he was making impacts no matter what was going on.
He's playing tonight.
Huh?
No.
Is he playing tonight?
He's the doghouse.
You said what?
It was a healthy scratch. No.
Buffalo. We'll give y'all a 5th round pick for him.
I'll take him in Miami.
Okay, I'll take him in Jacksonville. I don't care. Why not?
We got Eli Apple at CB2 right now, bro. Praying.
But actually, Miami may need him for real.
I'll take him in Jacksonville. I like my cornerback room a lot, actually.
He will not be.
Milton's
I agree.
Milton's going to throw his way. Milton is cocky, like with his arm strength and everything. He has arrogant arm strength. That's what he has.
I agree. I don't think he's gonna be bored this game. I really don't.
He shouldn't be.
I think this is gonna be the game where he's You didn't see this comment right here. You better believe this comment is on the bulletin board somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
You better believe this comment is in that locker room somewhere.
Hey man, I think it's a. I don't want to say it's like a must win, but I think if Billy wins this game, he helps himself out tremendously.
First of all, the stadium's gonna go crazy if we win.
Yeah, first of all, you finally beat the rival in 2 years. That's good news.
You gotta perform.
And that would be your second signature win if you think about it.
You talking last year?
And last year was his first game, but it was a signature win because nobody expected us to beat Utah. We didn't know what kind of team we had.
This is probably our best chance to beat a rival because Georgia, Florida State, LSU. Yeah.
I still wouldn't be shocked if we beat Florida State this year.
Of course you wouldn't.
The reason I'm not. I'll wait to talk about that, bro.
And that's the other thing. We did have a decommitment today, Jerry. You got some explaining to do. Mekhi Barrow did the 3-star defensive tackle from Fairburn, Georgia, did decommit from Florida today. They're still going to pursue him. They're still heavily recruiting them. But other teams are after him. Georgia's probably the team in the driver's seat right now because they finally actually started pushing for him. But Georgia, Auburn, Florida, they're all still after him. So, but Jerry, this is your fault since he's in Georgia. My God! Why did you let this happen?
My apologies. I did not take care of business.
The job's not finished.
Job's not finished though.
Yeah, job's not finished with a certain family in Orlando either.
Dude, you are ridiculous.
Why are you like this?
No, I'm just saying. Aiden's younger brother is playing really well right now.
Yeah.
Being recruited still, he's playing really well. Like I've seen from him.
Yeah.
Family tradition going. That's all I'm saying.
We actually ended up seeing him and his fam at the game because he was with everybody. So it was crazy. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Serendipitous.
Seriously.
Okay.
We passed by the facility. We want because Sauce had never been. I don't think, or was it Marcus? I think was it you had never been.
I haven't.
So we went over there and we ended up seeing them, and then his dad Will and everything. So
yes, we do go to Baton Rouge this year.
Want to talk about the Gator walk, Jerry?
Oh yeah, so Marcus. So for all the Gator fans watching this, the number one rule when you go to Gator walk, when you go to a Gator game, period, especially one that you're gonna be walking around all day, you need to drink water for about a day prior to, so you're not dehydrated. Marcus was empty.
Bro, I'm telling you right now.
Really, Marcus?
He was dehydrated, bro.
I was doing okay. I was doing good for the vast majority of the time we were walking and stuff. But that sun was hitting. It said 84 degrees. It was not 84 degrees. You cannot convince me. When they say it's swamp, when Gators get out alive, there wasn't too many Gators getting out alive that day.
Bro, people were cooked. Like, look at this little girl, bro. She was like about to die. This is at Gator Walk. She was about to die.
Y'all gotta drink your water, man.
The thing is, I did drink a lot of water. I work out all the time. I drink water like religiously.
This is Marcus on the cooling bus. Him and Sauce.
First of all, Marcus, why do you look like you about to commit a crime before humanity?
Damn.
Like you plotting something.
You just call me a black. You just call me a monkey.
No, you look like
you're
plotting. You look like you're plotting something. Like what's going on?
I was plotting getting some rehydration. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, we were dying, bro. It was awful.
It was all bad. But like, I drank plenty of water the night before. I drank like 10, 12 bottles of water that day because I were almost religiously. And
also,
like
Gator Josh, we ran into Gator Josh at the game.
Yeah,
you're talking about I couldn't
you didn't make the town, brother. Y'all make the towns.
I was darn near in Birmingham.
Tough break. Make your towns.
I was with family.
Interact with the fans. Family cool to you? Family cool to y'all?
I was with family, man.
Man, family fired y'all?
You said what?
Family's fired y'all?
No.
We got a chance to
Hey,
see
you should
Coach,
make that down there.
I mean,
Coach Nate was sliding by. It was
Yep.
pretty dope. Pretty close.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, only Marcus would do this. I don't know why he would do this going to a Gator game. Like,
No, Marcus got the most compliments I've ever seen. And like, everybody's like, "Oh, bro, your jersey's fire. Oh, it's dope." Like, everybody passed by and like,
I want y'all out there gassing that man up. Come on, man.
It was true. Hey man, it made sense though. I represent my city. I represent my team area where I go, and represent one of the greatest Gators that ever played.
there
And
were like
again,
3 or 4 people in that jersey.
Y'all, this man, the very next day was scared that AR was gonna do some generational things.
no,
Yeah, you was scared. I mean, yeah, they took the lead. You was like, oh snap. Oh, hold on a minute. My chest might be starting to hurt a little bit.
no.
Hey, bro.
They feeling right.
Hey, Jacksonville better go ahead and do what they got to do in that division. You get about 2 or 3 more years.
But speaking of that, how did y'all think he looked? I thought he looked pretty decent. I thought Anthony Richardson looked pretty decent out there. I mean, of course, he's gonna make those few mistakes, but for the most part, he looked poised. He looked prepared. He made some nice throws. He made some plays. So how did y'all think he looked?
Fine.
Yeah, I thought he looked fine. I thought he looked like he actually had a playbook that he actually liked.
He looked
Well,
okay.
And what we've been saying, it's all about getting reps too. So the more reps he gets, I feel like the better he's gonna be.
Like you said,
Most of his problems are that, but he does have some mechanical things to iron out. But again, that comes with reps. Like anything past like 10, 15 yards, we were not afraid of whatsoever. But the RPO game was one thing he did. We all knew he was very good at, and he did excel at Florida at times when he wasn't throwing 110 mile per hour fastballs. Looks solid there. When they get to the red zone, I will say that's gonna be a very fun team because I like that QB power they ran.
Yeah.
Oh, him in the red zone.
And by the way, shout out to Trevor Lawrence for the advice he gave him because he's right. I mean, you're a great player, but you got to learn to slide because them hits they do add up in this league. Like this ain't college. You gotta remember it's a little different. So,
That hit he took from Andre Cisco at the end, he got fucking clocked.
he did. I mean, and this is true. He really don't have hardly any weapons. He's got one at Mike Pittman, but that's it. You don't have nothing after. I dropped the AR in a few fantasy leagues. He'll have his struggles, but
That was smart, Pops.
Yeah. I tried to get him as a backup, but you know,
I think he looked better than all the other rookies. I'll say that much.
he did. Hey, Chris Young ain't got no weapons either. He ain't got no weapons either.
You try to tell me LaVisca Chenault was a weapon. I saw his story play out.
I mean,
I will say though, AR he has things. He did okay. He didn't look overwhelmed or anything like that.
Yeah.
I will say some of those runs that he pulled out there, you could tell he's in the NFL now because if he was still here in Florida, some of those runs he would have went to the crib.
He was slid, yeah.
Yeah, because some of those Alucon and some of those linebackers chased him down and ran him out after like 2 yards.
Right.
yeah, and I said with CJ Stroud, he wasn't terrible yesterday, but
He's played the fucking Ravens as defense.
he has no weapons. Like none of these rookie.
No, bro.
Speaking of the Ravens, I'm gonna have to change the name to the Johns Hopkins Ravens.
Yeah, they all in Johns Hopkins Hospital right now. So yeah,
Hospital Ravens.
Dude.
at this point,
I thought they were gonna get hurt again. I told you.
for his Achilles, and then Marcus Williams torn pec.
Mark Andrews already played with quad.
Joe Mills right here.
They
All
are.
right, Foster, my brother in Christ.
It's AR. Let's be serious now.
Yeah, it's AR.
Look.
Wilson, not sure about Wilson. He may be cooked. I'm gonna be honest about Russell Wilson.
Sean Payton got them boys running the 2020 Drew Brees playbook. They ain't throwing deep, y'all.
Yeah.
And on top of it, who is he really throwing to right now?
That's one of the more overrated wide receiver rooms I've seen in quite a minute.
Hey, Jerry Judy's generational.
No, he's not.
He's a generational route runner, but that's it.
Oh my God, y'all see this?
Joe
So,
Milton AR was less down. I'm not buying.
number 9 overall player Micah Hudson committed to Texas Tech.
Yeah, that was expected.
Hmm.
He's a legacy there too.
Wait, Foster said Joe Milton's a less talented aide.
He's less athletic. The arm is there, but like it's
that's
way
pop.
better than AR's is.
That explains it. That explains it right there. No wonder.
Oh, you didn't play.
You're overrated as hell anyway. Who cares?
Yeah,
I do like Joe Milton.
by the way,
I've liked Joe Milton since he came out of high school. I just think sometimes his decisions just like throw me off. Like, I just don't get why sometimes he throws the ball to certain guys at certain times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. He's hit or miss for me.
I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, if he puts it all together, he can be really good. But see, he's a 6th. He's not like AR. AR was what, 3rd year in college, or redshirt sophomore.
Yeah.
Joe Mills is a 6-year senior. He's been at Michigan and now Tennessee. Like at this point, he is who he is. So it's like,
yeah, but you know, Stetson Bennett can give everybody hope, right?
Well, yeah, it's true. Why are you throwing across your body, man?
Jaden Daniels is at what? This is his 5th year? 4th,
I believe. He spent his first 2 years at Arizona State. He was a starter there.
That's right.
First 2 years, and then he transferred. I think when Herm Edwards got fired, he transferred.
Yeah, that's right.
First big recruit, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And then he transferred to LSU last year. So he's a senior now.
I want to ask y'all, though, just going back to Gator football. How do y'all think we should start the game, right? Like, starting from the coin toss. Say we win the coin toss. You kicking or you receiving?
I'm putting my defense out there first.
Just put defense out. Set tone.
Yeah. I'm putting my defense out there first.
But you got to tell them we need to stop. Like, you got to get a stop.
Well, of course, you got to get stopped. But I mean, I also want to see the process, see what they do first. You want to see what they're coming out with early so you're not shell-shocked after the offense punts or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would also kick it off, I believe.
I benched that Michigan. I benched that Tennessee. I'm not sure who else needed for 2 games. Hey.
People forget that he was starting at Tennessee early until it came along.
That's a good question, Trey.
What do y'all think? I want to hear y'all opinions on this.
I don't know if it's the fact that Graham targets Ricky too much, or we just have a lot of play design for Ricky.
Trust him also because again, this is a really inexperienced wide receiver room. It's a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores.
Yeah.
Had success here. Xavier?
Or guys who barely play.
That also. So I get it. I don't fault him for like trying to look Pearsall's way more often than not. But some of these designs are also kind of wonky in that they don't really permit guys to get open as well as
I'm glad you saw it live.
Yeah, because there were a lot of route concepts there, especially on the scrambles.
Yeah.
Where guys were just way too bunched up. Guys ran right into each other, ran their men into each other.
Yeah.
So it was difficult to get guys open. And it was really condensed and bunched up.
It is, man. It is. And like you have a guy like Caleb Douglas, I think you gotta find a way to get him involved.
And that's where we're in this podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Oh. Oh my God! He left. Oh my God!
Can you target your best receiver too much?
To a certain extent.
To an extent, yeah. Because at some point it gets like repetitive, and then you target way too much. So yeah, I would say so. Especially if other guys are open. You know what I'm saying? Like Trey Wilson, man, this guy, he was open a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? When he was out there, when we gave him a good route to run. But for some reason, Ricky Pearsall is a guy that we do target, you know, overwhelmingly. So I would say, yeah, man. I don't know. We target them a lot though. Maybe slightly too much.
To me, whoever is open throwing the ball, yeah, that's true. But I mean, hey, I get why people would be concerned about that. And Marcus, come back.
Did
Thank
we
you.
throw Marcus? There was one play, and y'all probably remember. We threw a jump ball to who we threw a jump ball to in the end zone, bro. Was it like Pearsall or?
I want to say it was Pearsall. I'm not quite sure. Oh my god.
Because I was confused as why we didn't use Frazier's in the red zone more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's in Marcus Burke as well.
Yeah, I didn't see too much. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was the man. Hey, look, it was Caleb. It was somebody else's birthday too.
It was, yeah.
Who won Caleb Douglas, right?
I think it was Caleb Douglas' birthday. They need to keep Ricky off. I agree.
That
100%.
part.
I would say put Trey back there because of his explosiveness, but I won't think they want to because again, young freshman mistakes.
Now I know I said this could be a breakout game for Trey Wilson, but there's another receiver I'm looking at that could have a breakout game.
Who, Andy?
Caleb Douglas.
He should. He's pretty solid, bro. He's a solid receiver. I really like Caleb Douglas' game.
Yeah, I think we got to find ways to get him the ball. And I do agree about the route concept. They got to stop running into each other, being in the same area at the same time.
It's sick.
That can't happen.
I think the concept with the play action, though, when you have like three layers of receivers, you have wide receiver one over the top, you have your slot in the middle, like Aiden or Eugene, and then you have your tight end sliding out in that play action. I mean, I think that's a pretty good play call. I do like it, especially if the running game is going. But if the running game is not going, you're not fooling anybody. So it's all about situational play calling. You know, depending on what you have, 3rd and 8, you might not want to do that. If it's, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, I think it's a great play call. So it depends.
Yo, this is how bad it is for Jets fans.
Oh no.
Yes, they're calling for Cam Newton. Now they get cooked in the quote.
Don't do it. They're gonna absolutely.
You want two injured quarterbacks.
Would you rather him or Zach Wilson?
The same. We're not gonna be the same. Came out on fucking shoulders.
You gotta pick one.
At least one's young and can theoretically better.
Make a mid-season, make an in the middle of the season trade for Kyle Trask. Who says no?
It would be just their luck.
And Jermaine Johnson would say.
It would be just the luck for the Bucks where they actually do trade Kyle Trask to the Jets. He balls for them, and then Baker Mayfield just craps the bed for the rest of the season.
The worst part about this happening right now is the way this game is going, you see exactly why people were so excited about the New York Jets.
The defense is
killing Josh Allen.
They've always given them issues since last year, but my goodness.
1000% agree, Kenny. Kenny and Trey, man, everybody in the comment section, salute to y'all. Y'all are cooking with these takes. I agree with pretty much everything y'all are saying, bro.
Yeah, y'all on point with these things. Even with the Georgia fans, even with Pops in here, on point with the comment.
Hey, man, when you know ball, you know ball. About the thing with Mizell, is it more of a trust thing with the coaching staff, or are they concerned with his size at this moment?
I think it might be a mixture of both because when he gets hit, he's down, bro. He's down, right? And then he also tried to catch the ball with one hand, so you can see maturation process.
Yeah, I get it. They would trade he's such an explosive athlete, such an explosive guy. You have to you can't keep him off the field. You just can't.
Yeah.
At some point,
AB, I will say, there were a few times where Andy Jean was cooking guys in routes. We just couldn't get him the ball. He was, oh my Lord.
Bro, we had 7-year senior Michael Leon out there. How is he going to get the ball?
No. I'm talking about like in the beginning of the game, somewhat when he got out there, like maybe like second quarter, when Graham was out there.
Oh,
yeah, looked good.
Latavius Murray.
Yes, Latavius Murray is still in the league.
Good God, Buffalo. Stay in your running back room.
How's Dalvin Cook doing?
Not better than Brees Hall.
Oh, speaking of which, to check my fantasy teams because I'm so grateful for my Cowboys defense. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely going to win that because they got James Cook, and that's the only one that's playing. I'm definitely going to win that matchup. So let me check my other one here.
Oh,
yep, definitely going to win this matchup too. Who do they have playing? Stephon Diggs and the Bills defense. Playing well, but not enough to unseat me. So I'll be 1-0 in that league.
I will say, how many primetime games did the NFL accidentally give Zach Wilson?
Wait, bro, pause. Wait a minute. So Dalvin Cook's middle name is James, and James Cook's middle name is Dalvin?
You can't be serious.
Wait a minute, bro. Let me do it.
It's like Calvin Ridley. It's like all him and his siblings' middle names begin with the letter O.
I lost in this league. And I definitely
Dalvin Cook's middle name is James.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
That's hilarious.
What about James's middle name? And Josh Allen just threw another interception.
Hey, bro, put some respect on Tua's name.
Wait, hold on.
Hit again.
Hold on. Yo, I know this ain't indisputable evidence, and we're gonna talk about this more tomorrow. But do I look crazy now?
Yes.
No, I don't.
What are you talking about?
Get off cock, bro.
I told y'all this man been leading the league in turnovers the last 2 years. And by the way, they showed a stat earlier today since he got in the league. You know he's tied for the most turnovers in the league by a quarterback.
Josh Allen.
Who is that?
Tied with. Now that I forgot who he was tied with, but it was. I think they say he had like 80 turnovers in 5 years.
That's crazy.
I believe that because he has to do so many damn things for this offense to even function, and he's such a high risk guy. It's not implausible.
But does he have to do so much?
Yes, because he can't run the fucking ball. He's the only person that's capable of doing it. Yes.
DJ Ford.
Who's the number 2 receiver?
Yes.
Davis.
I think we will come out with one, man.
This guy. I don't think they have to, but they're going to probably do it. If it gets to a point where the game's starting to get away from them, they might have to pull one out.
I don't think they do it during that point. I think it'll be like
maybe like early.
Or maybe like the second drive, just kind of catch them off guard.
Yeah.
Tennessee will key in on Ricky and Trey. I see Douglas having a break. I just got through saying it. I think he could have one. I really do.
I want to see. I think this is a game that we should see a lot of Trayon Webb wearing down the defense. I would love that, along with the other running backs.
Oh, look at this. Jordan Whitehead is a bad.
That's his third pick of him today, right?
I think it is. I know it's definitely his second.
Wait a minute. Josh Allen's thrown 3 picks today?
Yeah. Turnover machine.
So AB, would you
according to some people, I was pushing narratives.
Wait, so AB, you gonna go ahead and say Tua is the best quarterback in the AFC East, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far.
Then who is? If you gonna say
it's actually a healthy Josh Allen.
What about a healthy Tua?
I gotta see more because
he makes that team infinitely better. Let's be serious though. All jokes aside about Tua.
You said what?
Like Tua makes that team infinitely better than what
he really does.
He's
got to stay healthy, but also he's got to be more consistent. Because you got to think about it. His career's been inconsistent too. He's that
inconsistent, but
he kind of has. I mean, he'll have one good game, then it'll be another game. The next game is like, is this the same quarterback that played last week?
He looked great yesterday. He was very decisive.
He was cooking yesterday. Him and Tyreek Hill. And by the way, there's no answer whatsoever for Tyreek Hill. Forget about it. None.
Putting him manning him up all game is a choice. A bad choice, but a choice
JC Jackson
nonetheless.
sold. JC Jackson sold, and I'm grateful.
Former Maryland DB J.C. Jackson.
Okay, Mr. Jennings.
I mean, when he announced himself at the starting lineup, he says University of Maryland.
This played there for the most part. But he did start here.
Why would he throw this ball, bro? What?
He thought he could get it there. Process are way too much. They got fooled.
Yeah, but I can see Florida having Johnson and Trevor in at the same time. You know what? I would like to see that as well. I would like to see
that would be beautiful.
turn the pro teams off. You're not going to know who's going to get the ball, and that's another. You know what? That's another way you can get the ball in their
It
hands.
works well when one person does something else and at a high level.
But also, you don't know. Like you can do that. Put them both in at the same time and use them in the passing game.
Yeah, you could, but
Go.
Montreal's hands are sus, bro.
That's why you don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't necessarily say throw to him.
Or sure BTN's hands in the passing game.
I'm all for trying it, but I mean,
just a little rankle.
As long as you don't have Dante Sanders in the game at the same time.
Trevor's a pretty good receiver. Yeah, I mean, now Cam Carroll was the best receiving back on this team, and he was going to be the third down back really for that reason. But of course, he got hurt towards ACL, so I mean, he won't be in for the season or extra block. Yeah, that's another thing. Extra blocking.
Oh my gosh! What a play! What a play!
Oh, he's talking about putting Trevor in the slot. I can see that.
Man,
Slot to kind of set something up. But also,
I want to see more of the freshman wide receivers.
This is way too much Dalvin Cook for my taste.
hey, Bruce all in now.
Thank God.
You want to know what else I saw though?
What?
Mertz is willing to run.
But that brother is not getting hit though.
Yeah, he ain't a dynamic runner, but he's at least willing to. Hey, Kyle Chris was willing to run.
Give me them 3 or 4 yards, and I'm good.
I want to see Florida run the bootleg play that the Packers ran against the Bears and Aaron Jones. I can see Trevor doing that play. You know, yeah, I mean that was a nice play too. By the way. Matter of fact, damn Bears, Aaron Rodgers gone. Y'all still can't beat them. Come on, man.
They're never gonna win. Ever. They never beat them boys again.
And this is guy my job is a huge diehard Chicago sports fan. Cubs, Bears, Blackhawks. I told him like, dang, bro. I said the same thing, dang. Aaron Rodgers gone, y'all still can't beat. You like, man, it's a travesty. I think Napier will follow last year's path and continuously push those that produce into the front. Like they did running backs. Would expect to see more of CC and Kelvin. You know what? Yeah, I
do fully expect that to happen sooner rather than later.
I mean, guys entering the portal like they're entering for a reason. They see the writing on the wall, and on top of that, they're pulling guys.
Portal's popping, man.
Because Darius Perkins was a Mullen guy. That's a Georgia fan. Why would we put ETN in?
Oh my gosh. It's an idea, it's an idea.
Throwback screen.
I want to ask Georgia fans, how do you feel about utilizing your guys where you're using them? How do you feel about having Mike Bobo back at office coordinator? Because I don't think.
Yeah, how do y'all feel about having Mike Bobo? I want to know, genuinely. Because I know how y'all had him, and it was not pretty.
Garrett Wilson cooking.
Y'all talking about having both of them on the field. Well, see, I think that's what he meant. Like, if you're gonna have both of them on the field, you can use them in different ways. They don't necessarily have to be in the backfield. He said, "I'm fine." That doesn't sound very encouraging, Pops. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Look, man, if you're happy with Bobo, I just think.
Bitch!
What'd you say?
Oh my God!
What, bro?
Ooh, Garrett Wilson
just sunned the cornerback. Garrett Wilson just sunned him. You gotta be kidding me.
That's my fantasy wide receiver, bro. Let's go.
Did you just see that?
I didn't see it.
That is nasty.
Tre'Davious White, I am so sorry.
David White.
This is what sucks about the Rodgers issue. This is why people would like the Jets so much this season. This is exactly why.
Wow. Like, bro, like you sunned him.
Hey, that's LSU. That's Ohio State on LSU crime right there, bro.
All right, y'all ready to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
This is a great game.
Carson Beck in the slot.
Oh, brother.
Garrett Wilson is Hemi Neutron. Yeah. That play. Oh, yeah, he is. I'm not judging the team off pay for play games this weekend. Y'all gonna kill South Carolina, man. They can't block the soul. We talked about that last week. They can't block anybody.
Yeah, they're. Okay.
Y'all got any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Please
Final
win.
thoughts.
You said
Final
what?
thoughts, man.
Please win.
Yeah, let's win to avoid all the because Gator fans are going to be irrational, regardless. But let's just win this game, man. You know, I really want to see us get it. Hopefully, it's the equivalent of Utah and Florida last year. We get a ranked win at home. Napier's happy, Gator fans are happy, and yeah, we take it and then go and win the next two games.
And see, for me, like, hopefully we do get a win because I honestly feel like if we do, this can be the game that turns everything around. Like this could get us on that upward trajectory.
I feel you're coming from. Yeah,
like this,
confidence factor.
Put it this way, I don't know if y'all old enough to remember. Y'all kind of are, but
hey, Pops is a great. We love Pops on here, man, for sure.
Yeah, he's not trolling. Rattler wins games against teams with DBs that can't catch. Yeah, Trey, we appreciate it, man. We
appreciate it for sure, man.
But like, you guys aren't old enough to remember. I kind of am.
We know.
Like, winning this game can be equivalent to back in 2000 when Miami finally beat Florida State because they couldn't beat them for a while, and that kind of got them going.
Yeah, brother, I was 2 or 3 years old. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I was like 2.
All you got to do is just watch the U part 2. Like, remember they won that game. It kind of got them going. I got them in that direction where, hey, like, we can really do something here. So hopefully we can have that kind of game where, like, in Billy's tenure, this being his second year, we win a game of this magnitude, and it finally gets us going, gets us off the hook, and we can kind of just go from there.
It'll be Billy's first win versus a rival, I think, right?
Right, it'll be his first win against a rival, and we can build. We can build off of that. So hopefully, we can do that.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Who has a song this week? Oh wait, we didn't do a song last week because we were depressed. Who would? I think it would have been Marcus, but he decided not to do one.
That's right. Yeah. Also, my swamper of the week. Once again, Shamar James offensively. Trayon Webb. Salute Trayon Webb.
See, I would have said Trayon Webb offensively, but
the 3D running back room is my swamper of the week, period.
Yeah, I'm going with the entire running back room. I can't just pick just one.
I feel you.
Swamper of the week defense is actually co-swamper. Scooby and Shamar.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's Pops. That's unfair, bro. Because
man.
I'm not gonna lie. I never root for y'all, no matter what. Unless it's against Florida State. If y'all play Florida State, I'll root for y'all. But I root for Tennessee against Georgia. I do. I don't know, man.
I feel like this is Marcus's burner.
It's most definitely not my burner.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. And we got to stop being so hard on ourselves all the time, man. Just enjoy the process. We won't always be down. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. We'll be back.
You were right. Jordan Whitehead does have 3 interceptions.
Jesus. First ever 3 picks in the game since Ty Law.
And then he fumbled the ball. He just fumbled. Oh my God, Josh Allen just a turnover machine.
Are you serious?
Yes. He fumbled twice. And he's hurt.
Oh damn, and he's hurt. Dang, both quarterbacks got hurt.
This
There's
is
a
a
reason-
sham.
There's a reason the Bills were forgotten about, guys.
As a Dolphin fan, I love seeing this madness.
This game is insane.
We're gonna end this right here, but this is insane.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, this
Wait a minute. He fumbled the ball. He fumbled the ball.
He fumbled twice.
Do I still look crazy?
That's the second funniest fumble.
Am I still pushing narratives though?
This man was ready to get this off after everyone talked about Dak Prescott throwing 70 picks in 12 games.
Because the
Maybe.
media refused to talk about it.
Maybe. I'm not gonna cap,
Because only
bro.
just show up Buffalo. Stop.
Is this a fight? What is happening right now?
They're fighting. I'm going to
Anyway, let's get up out of here.
Hey, Pops, it could be worse. You could have went against the Cowboys defense.
Oh, brother, let's end this now.
Yeah, but yeah, Marcus, you got the song. What are we picking this week?
Okay, let's see what we got. I'll be a 70-year-old white guy from Umatilla somewhere, and I'll pick the damn alma mater. Who cares? Just be Tennessee, yo. Please.
How about we do "Won't Back Down," bro? Makes sense.
Why not? Screw it.
"Won't Back Down" by Tom Petty is the song of the week.
Hey, man, I was up there saying that sound like a fraud. Like, in the state, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Bro, I was in this one.
Jerry, if I ever go to a game and you there, and I see you do that.
Hey, man, the DJ was on point, though. DJ was playing good stuff pregame.
Yeah, he was in his bag.
I'm telling you this before we end this now. Jerry, if I see you at a game doing that while Tom Petty's playing, I will personally walk over to where you're sitting and I'm going to slap the hair off of your head.
You ain't doing that.
Slap the beard off.
Just want to cry about that, Fear AB.
But yeah, I guess we'll go with Tom Petty. All the hell with it.
Stop hating, bro.
I'm not hating. It's just hey, maybe it'll be a good omen. Maybe this will be a good omen. But let everybody know where they can follow y'all. Burner accounts included.
Yeah, man. You can follow me on Twitter at jbreezy. No need to tell you what my burner is because it's a burner. And yeah, man. That's pretty much where you can follow me. JLamartin_I on Instagram.
You already know how I'm coming, man. Marcus Davis 904 on Twitter. No burners necessary. Marcus Davis _ on Instagram if you so very choose to do so.
This is his burner.
It's not my burner.
What is it? But y'all, as usual, you can follow me on Twitter at AceWave1, on Instagram at Ace_Wave1, ladies. You can follow the podcast page. Yes. No. Yes. Hater. You can follow the podcast page on Twitter at inside_swamp and on Instagram at inside_4athletics and on TikTok at inside swamp1. Yeah, this has been another great episode of the Swamp Inside 4 Athletics. We're gonna leave it as we always do. God bless y'all. Go Gators. Stay safe. Take care of your mentals. Take care of your loved ones. Tell them you love them every single day. Check in on them every single day.
Absolutely.
Watch his face. Watch his hands. Marcus.
With soap and water, hot water that is, with a loofah, washcloth, whatever you prefer, wash your ass. Oh, and if you're in the swamp on Saturday, wear blue. That is all.
Wear blue, baby.
Wear blue.
Wear blue. All blue.
And be loud. Be loud. Make them fear. Make them fear, y'all.
The ghost
Bro,
of Gator.
come on, Dalvin.
Like that.
The sound of it.
Y'all, we'll say to y'all, God bless y'all. Go Gators and have a great night. We'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir, man. Go Gators.
Go Gators.